Welcome to Michigan in Focus, powered by thecentersquare.com. This episode features a piece by the Center Square's Carly Moran, headline, quote, "Bill signed to combat statewide EMT, paramedic shortages," end quote. Here's the story. Michigan has a new way to address its EMT shortage. Governor Gretchen Whitmer signed a law that would extend temporary EMT and paramedic licenses from 120 days to a year. House Bills 4613 and 4614 were sponsored by State Representative Dave Preston, a Republican from Cedar River. Preston said, quote, "You don't have to work in an ambulance or an emergency room for very long before you see just how devastating staffing shortages can be. Allowing trained EMTs and paramedics to continue doing their jobs as they proceed through the licensing process is a common sense policy change that will have a major impact," end quote. According to the Michigan Health Council, the state will need at least 5,720 new EMTs and paramedics by 2030. Preston argues the bill will help address first responder shortages across the state, but particularly in rural areas. Preston said, quote, "Rural communities feel the devastating effects of EMT shortages first. It's something we're all too familiar with in the Upper Peninsula. Having worked in the back of an ambulance and in emergency rooms, I'm deeply familiar with the immense workload and burnout felt by the few first responders we have left. This doesn't solve the entire problem, but is an incremental step in the right direction," end quote. The new law also requires any temporarily licensed worker to be under the supervision of someone with a full license. This podcast was made with the assistance of AI technology. Please subscribe and thanks for listening.